Well, John Van Den Nieuwenhuizen, man, you got this hidden radio too. I mean, it's like a magic symphony for a speaker that you could carry around for your, cell phone, right? Anywhere. But you're coming out with a new version. You had this a couple of years ago, and now you're back on Kickstarter. Man, and like you got $100,000 in 4 hours. Why do people want this one more than your last one?
I think because we've taken the same great design, but then under the hood, we've changed everything, and we've added incredible sound to the new one. It's really the best in its industry, and on top of that, we've got multi-speaker effects where you can link a couple up together.
Wow, you mean like more than one even?
Yeah. Exactly. Wow. You can spread them around the house. To open the cap, you just tap the top or play on your iPhone, and the cap automatically rises up. So it's got a whole lot of new functionality that people seem to love.
No, I mean, all the little cheesy speakers you hear, I mean, it bothers me. Like my PC or anything, there's nothing. So this is something that really gives an incredible sound, and the price is like next to nothing. But more importantly, actually, now at Christmas time, this would be a great gift at Christmas, right? Because it's a bargain price, if you're one of the first ones to get this stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely. And you're also, you're pre-ordering a speaker essentially on Kickstarter, but you're also buying into a project, and you get to follow the progress and learn. It's rare that, let's say when Apple develop a product, you can follow their process as they're doing it, but people get to follow, and every step we take and learn through our eyes of how we do everything. And then at the end, you get a great product.
All right. Well, so that accent you have is not from New Jersey, right? Where are you from?
From Australia.
Australia. And your partner is from where?
He's from Brazil, but he lives in Milan now.
Oh, Milan now. Now, both of you guys met working in Milan as industrial designers. Is that where you met?
Yeah. We were both working for the Motorola design studio out there, and that was almost 12 years ago now. And yeah.
And now you're doing your own thing, and you say goodbye to Motorola. You don't need them anymore, right? But you made $1 million on Kickstarter your first time, man. That's amazing. What did Motorola say? They want the money, part of the money, or what?
Well, we left. Both of us left Motorola about I think 7 years ago, and then since then we've been working with different corporations, and when the first project went big, we obviously left our jobs and focused 100% on hidden, and and that was it.
So now when you put your site on Kickstarter, I mean, not doing, developing the speaker, but actually the mechanics of Kickstarter, was that difficult to learn, or how was that process?
They've got a great platform, it's really, and they do a lot to educate the backers of what to do and what not to do. So Kickstarter are pretty good, and then it's really, once you put it on there, that's a platform, and they have a lot of unique visitors, but you need to then go and get out there and work with the press and tell people.
You have to talk to idiots like me to hope people.
Not so much, but it's kind of it's like you can't just put it on there and hope it will do well. You have to get out there, and then with the journalists, to be honest, they get hundreds of Kickstarter projects each week, and they're just like, well, why should I bother? And so you've got to try to find a way to stand out and show something interesting.
And what do you think about your product that makes them compelled to talk to you? I mean, obviously it worked, whatever you're doing, because if you make $1 million doing it.
I think there's a couple of things, it's like everyone's always asking us, well, what's the secret? Yeah, unfortunately there isn't one. I wish there was. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but I think there's two things. I think, obviously the first one, people really love the design. That's been something just seeing the image, people are very curious about what it is, as this beautiful minimalistic speaker. But then on top of that, a big part of design is storytelling, and we work very hard on how we, map out the video, the script, what words we use, and how we communicate that. And that's one of the great things you learn in design, and especially working for big companies where you're always selling your designs and, trying to show people why it's superior to something else, new cell phone, new computer, whatever. And so that's a big part of the process is the storytelling.
I see. Well, I guess if you're like you were back at Motorola when they were doing the razors, and they had to convince the other people why their new phone was better than anybody else, and I guess that's a delicate thing sometimes how you do that, huh?
It is, it's I think it's at the end of the day, I think it's about also being
Hmm.
authentic. Some people like they won't play it up enough. Like they're like, hey, it's a nice product, but they won't sell it enough. But then some people will oversell it, like it's
Cure
it's the
cancer.
greatest thing
Cure
ever.
cancer. Right.
But it's finding that perfect middle zone that's exciting, tells a good story. It makes you want to be engaged, but it's also got to be sincere. And I think that's the thing with Kickstarter because people are,
Yeah.
back the project. It's not like going to a store and buying a product. So there has to be a very sincere message.
But also they're seeing you and your partner who developed this thing, and it's in your soul, and it shows when you talk about it instead of when you were working for Motorola that you were selling somebody else's, right?
I think a lot of people like that because even though we're the co-founders, we're still very much involved in all the aspects of what we're doing. Whereas if you buy a product from a big company, you don't know who's doing what. And I think Steve Jobs was the only one who put any personality to running a company. And others try to do it, but it's not convincing or it's not
No,
sincere.
you're right. No, you're right. And I guess that's why it's so neat to be able to buy something that you've poured your heart into probably for the last 5 years or so, and to see you talk about it and to get a piece of that heart almost, that we're getting when we see you and this elegant speaker. I mean, you can't even tell it's a speaker. I don't know what you think it is, but it's just beautiful. You want to be around it for some reason. And it's called the Hidden Radio 2. And actually, we could get it really, because people will be hearing this later. So hiddenradiodesign.com is a good place to find you all the time, right?
Absolutely. Hiddenradiodesign.com or just head over to Kickstarter and type in Hidden Radio 2 and either way and you'll find us.
And really, it's a good bargain now, but it is a Christmas present that could be delivered later, right? Could you give your friend a wonderful gift at a bargain price, and they'll be one of the first ones to have it, right? Well, wonderful. Well, wonderful, John. Thank you so much for being there and bringing your talents to our country and sharing these wonderful designs with us. We need it.
Thanks a lot for the time. Cheers. Thank you.